Dre Greenlaw, since we're on the topic of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
His one-game suspension upheld on appeal. A point that Devin McCourty made yesterday, and apparently the hearing didn't take a whole lot of time or effort, but what if there was a difference of opinion as to what Dre Greenlaw said? What did he say? Do they agree on what he said? Does it not matter? Does even Greenlaw's version of it justify a suspension? Because there was no contact made after the game-winning field goal. I assume Greenlaw still upset about that bizarre pass interference call that fueled the Giants' final touchdown run. There's Greenlaw running after Brad Allen. That doesn't seem like something that would merit a suspension unless we know what he said.
Well, I mean, he's not telling him, hey, come over for dinner tonight and let's have a glass of wine and hang out.
But hey, you know,
I mean, sometimes, like you just said, things are obvious. Like, this is obvious. Like, he's accosting the referee as the game is over. Celebrate with your team. There's just no need for it.
And he took 3 steps toward him and then ran away. But, you know, we saw Jackson Smith-Njigba say to, I think it was Alex Kemp on a Thursday night game a few weeks ago, that's some bullshit. Said it right to him,
right?
And he didn't even get fined.
But that's about a call, and in the moment of like a play at the moment, that looked like it's going way beyond that. He got the referee's attention to be like, "What? What did you just say?" And he threw a flag when the game was over. Right, so there was no play right there directly what we're talking about. There's things that you know are wrong in the NFL, and you're going to get in trouble if you. And this is one that's just it's obvious. Like you know, as a player, you got to watch what you do with a referee, and you can. That's what your point is. You can argue with the referee and go, "I think that's the wrong call. That's bullshit, whatever." But when you start to attack them personally and say "F you" and you freaking suck and blah, 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 and all that type of stuff, that's where it crosses a line, and every NFL player knows that. So it's hard for me to stick too much up here for Dre Greenlaw.
I still want to know what was said.
Yeah.
Because a suspension's a big deal. Taking a player off the field is a big deal. I want to know what was said, because we've seen that before. The line was always contact. Yes, you can get flagged and you can get fined for verbal abuse directed at the official, but the line that you couldn't cross was touch them. So under your theory, Chris, accepting your theory is it doesn't matter what he said, just watch the body language. Play the tape again. Watch number 40 for the Denver Broncos. And I don't know why he wasn't suspended. Watch Justin Strnad as he approaches. It's kind of hard, but watch him come by, and he comes in and he slaps him in the back.
He does. He looks like he slaps him in the arm or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes Jonathan Gannon on Amari DiMercato.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes physical contact that wasn't inadvertent, and you could tell by, it's like, you know what, when you see it. You could tell by the way he approached him and the way he turned and said something to him. It was like, yeah, take that. Like, basically, you tried to take the game away from us, and we took it back. Jerk.
Yeah, there was something there. Now, again, here, 51 Robinson isn't following Dre Greenlaw because he's like, hey, I want your cake recipe. He knows he's going crazy there. You know, so again, I don't know what was said exactly. I hear you that.
I want your cake recipe.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, but so I don't know exactly what's going to be said. Did Dre Greenlaw has he fought back against this yet? If he did, I missed this.
He appealed it and he lost. So I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know what he claims he said.
Right.
But whatever happened on appeal was unsuccessful. He'll have a chance next week when he's reinstated to address it.
Yeah.
Brian Branch ultimately addressed it. He addressed it before he was suspended.
Right.
See, what happened was we knew what Brian Branch did, so Brian Branch was able to address it to reporters before he was suspended. Nobody knew what Greenlaw did. This was some obscure clip that was caught by a local TV camera. This wasn't part of the broadcast. Like, this wasn't one of those things where, hey, man, did you hear what happened at the end of the game? And I'm working the phones as we're trying to get an update. Nobody knew that this had happened. So, and it's funny, Brad Allen threw a flag.
Yeah.
It's not in the game book.
Right.
There's no unsportsmanlike conduct with fourth quarter, 0-0-0 on the clock. I guess he just threw a flag because what else do you do?
Yeah, he doesn't know what else to do.
You got two things. You got your beanbag and you got your flag. What are you going to do? Those are your two weapons in your arsenal.
Hey, I love Dre Greenlaw. I love watching him play. You know, he played with the 49ers and Shanahan and Lynch, and I know how much they loved him and respected him and all that. and he plays to the line. He does. And that's the other part too. Is there history here? That's what I don't know. Does Dre Greenlaw have a little history of maybe doing this? Is that what was part of the NFL and the suspension? That's the part I don't know, or I'd be interested to know. But at the end of the day, still, it's just not the proper thing to do at the end of the game. And as a player, if you're going to go accost a ref, especially after the game, and follow him for a minute and yell at, like, you're towing the line there. You're towing the line, and you know that. And suspensions or heavy fines are, something you can expect when you do toe that line, I think. And
I just don't think a suspension is warranted.
That's where it makes me think there's something prior. There's something more. And that makes me think that there was more verbal accosting during the game that other referees probably could back up and go, no, I heard Dre Greenlaw say this and this to him too, or whatever. That's what I would wonder.
Well, then the suspension should be there was a pattern of verbal
maybe, right. Again, it's a tough one.
They framed it as one incident, and it's confusing to me because from the moment I saw the video, if Greenlaw was suspended, Sternad should be suspended. Something's off here. Unless they're just not watching the video. I don't know. And we've seen some irregularities when we see video and how it's interpreted by the league.
Right.
Like, pretty much every week when it comes to replay review. But I'm confused because Sternad should have been suspended. There was something about Greenlaw that made Greenlaw the target when he didn't touch the official. And Chris, with the Branch thing last week, we spent a lot of time trying to delve into precedent. Where's the precedent? Where are the comparable actions that we could look at? And there were some where a guy got suspended. There were some where a guy didn't get suspended. Devontae Adams pushed a camera assistant to the ground, leaving the field at Arrowhead Stadium, and didn't get fined or suspended. Got prosecuted, but they later dropped the charges. So there was stuff out there that we could point to. With this, for a suspension, when has we've seen ejections when a guy bumps into an official. I remember Walter Payton made contact with an official and got ejected from a game in his prime. It was a big deal. It was in the late 70s. The only thing I can think of in recent years, 1995, Bill Cowher, halftime of a game against the Vikings.
Right.
He wanted to show the referee the visual evidence that either the Steelers didn't have too many guys on the field or the Vikings had too many guys on the field. Right. And he stuffed it in his pocket.
Right.
He got in his face and he stuffed it in his pocket.
Yeah.
And they didn't even eject him from that game. Now, again, it's a 30-year-old precedent, but I feel like the line has always been contact. And yes, you can get yourself fined for the things you say. You can be penalized for the things you say. A suspension for words, it seems unprecedented to me.
Yeah.
And it makes me ultra curious about what Dre Greenlaw said.
Right.
And what was said in the hearing. Was there a disagreement? Did Brad Allen say, this is what he said? And Dre Greenlaw said, no, I didn't. And did they accept Brad Allen's word over Greenlaw's? That was the point that Devin was making yesterday.
Yeah.
We rarely have a dispute as to the factual content of the thing that causes the punishment. Here, there may have been one. So it just cries out for more.
Yeah.
I want to know more about what happened.
I hear you. It is. It does seem harsh. It does seem unprecedented, right? I just will say that, players know better from that standpoint. But, too, it's an emotional game. And that's why I love watching Dre Greenlaw, because he plays with everything, hard on his sleeve, all of that. And he's kamikaze, and I love that, too. I mean, he plays and he brings it. And, of course, he's just getting back on the field and getting healthy. And you'd like him to continue because they have a special defense and he's a special linebacker. But, he's going to be sitting this one out this week.
First game of the year. It was his first game of the year. He had that quad injury. Remember, there was the quad injury and there was a report. It was like a long-term injury. And then there was pushback and he didn't play the first 6 weeks of the season. Finally played, and now he won't be playing on a big Sunday afternoon game. Cowboys at Broncos. That to me is one of the best games of the day, but second at best to Packers at Steelers on Sunday Night Football. And again, we will be there. All right, let's take a break. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.